The Last Dream of the Old Oak by Hans Christian Andersen. But now it was winter. The trees stood leafless, so that everyone could see how crooked and bent were the branches that sprung forth from the trunk. Crows and rooks came by turns, and sat on them, and talked of the hard times which were beginning, and how difficult it was in the winter to obtain food. It was just about Holy Christmas time that the tree dreamed a dream. The tree had doubtless a kind of feeling that the festive time had arrived, and in his dream fancied he heard the bells ringing from all the churches round, and yet it seemed to him to be a beautiful summer's day, bright and warm. His mighty summits was crowned with spreading fresh green foliage. The sunbeams played among the leaves and branches. The air was full of fragrance from herb and blossom. Painted butterflies chased each other. The summer flies danced around him, as if the world had been created merely for them to dance and be merry. And all that had happened to the tree during every year of his life seemed to pass before him as in a festive procession. He saw the knights of olden times and noble ladies ride by through the wood on their gallant steeds, with plumes waving in their heads and falcons on their wrists. The hunting horn sounded and the dogs barked. He saw hostile warriors in colored dresses and glittering armor, with spear and halberd, pitching their tents, and anon striking them. The watchfires again blazed, and men sang and slept under the hospitable shelter of the tree. He saw lovers meet in quiet happiness near him, in the moonshine, and carved the initials of their name in the grayish green part on his tree. Once, but long years had intervened since then. Guitars and Urian harps had been hung on his bows by many travelers. Now they seemed to hang there again, and he could hear their marvelous talks. The wood pigeons cooed as if to explain the feelings of the tree, and the cuckoo called out to tell him how many summer days he had yet to live. Then it seemed as if new life was thrilling through every fibre of root and stem and tree, rising even to the highest branches. The tree felt itself stretching and spreading out, while through the root beneath the earth ran the warm vital of life. As he grew higher and still higher, with increased strength, his topmost boughs became broader and fuller, and in proportion to his growth, so was his self-satisfaction increased, and with it arose a joyous longing to grow higher and higher, to reach even the warm bright sun itself. Already had his topmost branches pierced the clouds, which floated beneath them like troops of birds of passage, or large white swans. Every leaf seemed gifted with sight, as if it possessed eyes to see. The stars became visible in broad daylight, large and sparkling, like clear and gentle eyes. They recalled to the memory the well-known look in the eyes of a child, or in the eyes of lovers who had once met beneath the branches of the old oak. They were wonderful and happy moments for the old tree, full of peace and joy. And yet, amidst all this happiness, the tree felt a yearning, longing desire that all the other trees, bushes, herbs, and flowers beneath might be able also to rise higher as he had done, and to see all this splendor and experience the same happiness. The grand majestic oak could not be quite happy in the midst of his enjoyment, while all the rest, both great and small, were not with him. And this feeling of yearning trembled through every branch, through every leaf, as warmly and fervently as if they had been the fibers of a human heart. The summit of the tree waved to and fro, and bent downwards as if in a silent longing sought for something. Then there came to him the fragrance of thyme, followed by the more powerful scent of honeysuckle and violets, and he fancied he heard the note of the cuckoo. At length his longing was satisfied. Up through the clouds came the green summits of the forest trees, and beneath him the oak saw them rising and growing higher and higher. Bush and herb shot upward, and some even tore themselves up by the roots to rise more quickly. The birch tree was the quickest of them. Like a lightning flash, the slender stem shot upwards in a zigzag line, the branches spreading around it like green gauze and banners. Every native of the wood, even to the brown and feathery rushes, grew with the rest, while the birds ascended with a melody of song. On a blade of grass that fluttered in the air like a long green ribbon sat a grasshopper, cleaning his wings with his legs. May beetles hummed, the bees murmured, the birds sang, each in his own way. The air was filled with the sounds of song and gladness. But where is the little blue flower that grows by the water? Asked the oak. And the purple bellflower and the daisy? You see, the oak wanted to have them all with him. Here we are here, sounded in voice and song. But the beautiful time of last summer, where is that? And the lilies of the valley, which last year covered the earth with their bloom, and the wild apple tree with its blossoms, and all the glory of the wood, which has flourished year after year, even what they have but now sprouted forth and compete with us here. We are here, we are here, sounded voices higher in the air, as if they had flown there beforehand. Why, this is beautiful, too beautiful to be believed, said the oak in a joyful tone. I have them all here, both great and small. Not one has been forgotten. Can such happiness be imagined? It seemed almost impossible. In heaven with the eternal God, it can be imagined, and it is possible, sounded the reply through the air. And the old tree, as it still grew upwards and onwards, felt that his roots were loosening themselves from the earth. It is right, so it is best, said the tree. No fetters hold me now. I can fly up to the very highest point in light and glory, and all I love are with me, both small and great. All, all are here. Such was the dream of the old oak, and while he dreamed, a mighty storm came rushing over land and sea. At the holy Christmas time, the sea rolled in great billows toward the shore. There was a cracking and crushing heard in the tree. The root was torn from the ground, just at the moment when in his dream he fancied it was being loosened in the air. He fell. His 365 years were past as a single day of the evening. On the morning of Christmas Day, when the sun rose, the storm had ceased, when all the churches sounded the festive bells, and from every hearth, even the smallest hut, rose the smoke into the blue sky, like the smoke from the festive thank offerings on the drake's altars. The sea gradually became calm, and on board a great ship that had withstood the tempest during the night, all the flags were displayed as a token of joy and festivity. The tree is down. The old oak, our landmark on the coast, exclaimed the sailors. It must have fallen in the storm last night. Who can replace it? Alas, no one. This was a funeral oration over the old tree, short but well meant. There it lay stretched on the snow-covered shore. Over it sounded the notes of a song from the ship, a song of Christmas joy, and of the redemption of the soul of man, and of eternal life through Christ atoning plan. Sing aloud and happy morning, all is fulfilled, for Christ is born. With songs of joy let us loudly sing, hallelujahs to Christ our King. Thus sounded the old Christmas carol. Everyone on board the ship felt his thoughts elevated through the song and the prayer, even as the old tree had felt lifted up in its last, its beautiful dream on that Christmas meal. Thank you for reading the story with me.